Hey gang, welcome back to the Geekdom. So in the last video I was kind of rushed at the end. Had some problems copying the VM over, and once I grilled the food and ate, came back and looked at it, and I'll show you the quick problem, but we'll touch on this in another video. So this is my desktop. Oh, that's way too big. If we go to Jenkins Locks here, you'll see there's current state, there's Xtool update. So that's a feature of virtual machines, is you can take a snapshot. So you're getting ready to install software, you're getting ready to make some changes, you could take a snapshot beforehand. That way if anything dorks up, you just revert back to the snapshot and it undoes all the stuff you just did. But if you want to copy this to another computer, you have to delete that snapshot. Now, the Xtool update, that's already been done, but we'll cover this in another video. Today, we want to build a virtual machine. So, yep, aborted. Remove, and we're going to delete all files. Okay. So there's a lot of settings in here. Yeah, okay, that's nice. There's a lot of settings in here, and you can go deep into the ether with this stuff. I do change my default machine folder because I have that on a separate SSD drive, and I can map it right there. Really doesn't matter. We can, if you see, we got VM. Okay, so we already did create a folder. Maybe I should watch what I do. And that's just going to be the home directory for every virtual machine you make. There's a bunch of other stuff you can get in here and do. Network manager, it's really in the weeds. I don't even really get in here and mess with this stuff. But if you want to go deep in the weeds, this is a sandbox. This is where you can play. So a couple things you need. You're going to need the ISO of the operating system you're going to install. Whether that's Windows, Linux, whatever flavor you want. Mac OS. Mac OS is a whole special creature. Don't go down that rabbit hole. It's terrible. Most commercially available software is going to come for Windows, especially Locksmith Industry, Arrow, Frame, and the G code or generic code. I think there's a bunch of other, pretty much anything you can buy off CLK Supplies or UHS Hardware or Frame and whoever. It's going to be built for Windows. So how do you get a Windows ISO? What is it? Windows, whatever flavor you want. Media creation tool. So they do the same thing for 11. No, don't want to update. You want to download. Wait, did they change this? No, I don't want to upgrade. I just want to download. So that's going to download a media creation tool. You want to run it. Thing is, if you're running Windows 10 and you want to download Windows 11, you can do that with a virtual machine. You can run Windows 11 within the virtual environment. There's that TPM reports, the TPM module, but there's ways around that. There's going to be a lot of fast forwarding in this. Okay, so scroll it down, accept. And I'm not gonna video the whole thing downloading, because that's obnoxious. Guys doing okay? So we don't want to upgrade, we want to create installation media. Hit next. I uncheck this because it's gonna take the settings for the physical machine you're on. I like to uncheck it and just make sure I'm getting what I want. Windows 10, 64-bit. Yep. And we want to do ISO. So when you hit next, it's going to ask you where you want to save it. I tend to give it a different name because I download a lot of different versions. I think this is 21H. The H22 whatever, that's what current release or current build of Windows is out. Or you can just put to date. So this is going to take forever today. We're going to move this out of the way. 22H2, okay. So, because I actually have OS. Windows 11, Windows 10, this version we're downloading right now, Windows 11, what have you. So that's going to be important because now you need that ISO. One other thing, if you're doing Windows, full legal disclosure, you will need a Windows license. You guys can email me if you have questions about that. I do own a lot of Windows licenses. If you've got an old computer that's got a Windows 7 sticker on it, you can try using that. 7 can upgrade to 8, to 8 to 10, 10 to 11. They're forward compatible now, or backwards compatible. You get the idea. If you don't have a spare one laying around, I use a site called kinkwin.net. Reject all. Come in here, $25. I've never been ripped off on this site, and I've been using it for years. I get my office licenses through it. If you have to go this route, contact me. We'll go through it because it's not straightforward. But it is a lot cheaper than the $120, $150 Microsoft.com to buy a license. So legal disclosure away. We're going to go in here and go to machine. We're going to go to new. Give it a name. One thing I do, because I run so many different versions of things, is I have one base template. It's one Windows 10 machine that I set up. It's licensed. It's the updates. And when I want to try something else, I clone the VM, which I'll show in a bit. But that way I'm not going through this whole process over and over and over again. So ISO image, hopefully this goes good over the ether. OS, we'll do Windows 10. Not 100% sold on Windows 11 yet, even though I run it. Okay, detected Windows. Can be installed unattendedly. This install will start after the wizard's closed. I don't normally do the unattended because I don't have a whatever file, an answer file basically. Oh, you son of a bitch. Let's go back to guided mode. Win base. Reselect the ISO. Next. I'm not doing unattended. This may be a change from the version of VirtualBox currently running, and it's been a while. Yeah, sure. Configure unattended. let's cancel this and just see, since I dorked it up. Manually, that's what we want. Well, I think that's what we want. Next. Still in background. Yeah, I don't want to do any of this. Let me stop here. Well, it helps if you read. I'm going to check mark skip the unintended installation. I think that's right. So, it's a new feature I wasn't ready for. So here we can add memory. Now this machine, this physical machine, has 8 gig. Yep. So you don't want to use a maximum of your physical machine. We'll go ahead and go. It goes in multiples of 124. 124 is, it's displaying in megabytes. 1024 megabytes equals 1 gig. Take that times 4 to add 4 gig, and it's 4096. See, I can't do math. See how many performance. How many cores do we got? So this machine physically has 6 cores. It's one processor, but it's got 6 cores into it. So let's give it 2 core. Virtual disk, 50 gigs sounds good. Windows 10, once you do the base install with all the updates and all that crap, it's about 25 gig. So we'll leave it at 50. You can always add more space as long as you got physical space, and that'll be either in this video or another one. We're not going to go over this stuff because if you're just setting up one machine, that's getting into the weeds. So it gives you a quick little summary. Going to finish. But now we want to right click, or you can go over here and go to settings. First one, go to USB. USB is enabled. That's good. Network. So without getting really deep into it, every device on your home network has what's called an IP address. This machine, this physical machine has an IP address of, nope. That's the VirtualBox it creates. 123. So this desktop we're looking at here is 123. My machine I'm using to remote into 220. So you guys are gonna have to bear with me adjusting. Think about an IP address as well, it's an address. It's your house number. This computer, my main tower, its house number is 220. This Dell computer we're using to demo, its address is 123. That's so how everything on the network knows how to get to each other. DNS is a system that translates text into those addresses. So when you go to google.com, that's translating 8.8.8.8, google.com to quad 8. Go to really Geek here. So there's its IPv6 address, and there's its IPv4 address. One of them, they have a whole range. Sorry, I'm getting off sidetrack. When you do NAT just shares the physical address. What I do is I do a bridge adapter, and I keep it on the network card. So that treats us like a fully separate machine. It'll get its own address. Everything else I think we're good on. And if you click through and didn't add your memory and processor and all that stuff here. Okay. This is a feature with the last couple releases of VirtualBox I don't like, this pop-up. There we go. So now we just sit here for the next hour and install Windows 10. God bless, stop that. One thing I will say to do, drop down network and disconnect. If not, it's going to ask you to put in your license immediately, and then it's going to have you force you into setting up your account with the Microsoft account. So undo the cable. It's just like unplugging the network cable from it. So if you got a product key in, you can put it in now, or you can put it in later. Because remember, you know you're doing this fully legal. You've got your product key, and for sake of argument, we're just going to go without a product key. If you do that, then you do have to select the edition of Windows you have. I usually do Windows Professional because it's got all the bells and whistles. There's going to be a lot of fast forwarding in this video. Custom install, yep. You can also just click the other one. I'm just used to going that way. Let's see. And welcome to installing Windows 101. So I'm going to pause this and hopefully catch it. That's actually going pretty fast. Let's just give it a second. We're already at 10%. Yeah, there's going to be some fast forwarding. I'm just going to clean my email out. I need an updated copy of my my business license for NASTF. Okay, get right on that. Michael Hyde, National Newsletter. So I'll have to check the time. But I mean, that wasn't even like 5 minutes. I didn't even get a quarter of my email cleared out. Ad support, okay, yeah. So this part you don't want to press because it's just going to boot to the ISO again. Wheel of patience. Okay. So I guess this is turning into a Windows installation. So we are, well, at least I am in the United States. Yep, that's the right keyboard. We don't want to add another one. And we're going to keep the internet not connected the whole time, and I don't have internet. Continue with limited setup. So this is so we can, keeping it disconnected from the internet allows you to create a local account. If you notice in the last video when I pulled up my actual Jenkins locks, I typed in just a PIN number. That's because I have it activated with a Microsoft account. Good old hot melt, that's how far back it goes. So let's go to security questions. Oh my god. This is the downside of not using a Microsoft account. You know what? Sure. Go with the whole shebang. I don't want Cortana. Liked her in the Halo series. Thought it was good. Which I don't know if you guys have been keeping track of that. Someone else bought the rights to Halo. So the 2 seasons or 3 seasons that were out, that's all scrapped, and they're going to restart the series over on their platform. Which kind of sucks. Well, let's do that. Let's just take a look at how, as I'm sitting here vaping, how the physical components are using. So virtual machine. Right now it's using about 5 to 15% of the CPU. It's not even using 100 meg of memory. Just barely registering on the hard drive. Ethernet, yeah, see, disk is barely. Memory's going to be the big one. It's sucking that guy up now. Or something is. Okay. Okay, alright. So we can't resize this window and have the display adjust, because we need to go and install all the drivers that help hand off everything. So we want to go up to devices and install guest editions CD image. Get that out of here. So that's going to attach another ISO to the computer, to the virtual machine. So if you go into File Explorer, this PC, you'll now see this. Just go with the base one, Windows Editions. We're not doing an AMD, we're not doing a 32-bit. Yep, we want to run it. Next, let's go with the defaults. So this is now telling the software files that are this virtual machine how to deal with physical hardware. So this is kind of like if you get a new card or something, a new webcam where you have to install the drivers or software, that's what we're doing right now. And then I'll tell you it needs to reinstall. Now, if everything goes according to plan, so what we're looking at right here, this Windows machine, and there we go. So now that we've installed the guest add-ins, now we can resize the screen and it'll resize the desktop. We're not connected to internet, so we're going to go to machine settings, go back to network, advanced, connect the cable. Now you see it do its little thing down here. Yep. So I think this is probably going to be heading towards the end of this video. I'll have to do some editing and some fast forwarding. But now if we go here, whoa, got a little sluggish there. So now you see it's got an IP address on the same network, but different than this Dell machine. Oh god, it's not the new. The other downside of this is once you install, Windows, oh, we don't want Windows 11. So this is probably going to come with a whole list of updates. So yeah, I'm going to let this run in the background. Complete setup, yeah, that's nice. Okay, continue without that. Yep, okay. AI powered. Don't switch. So here we go. In the span of this video is at 31 minutes right now. There'll be some fast forwarding. But in that span, we've created a virtual Windows 10 machine, or VM, virtual machine. So I think that's where I'm going to leave this. In the next video, I'll get to, hopefully the next video, I'll get to where I dorked up in copying my Jenkins Locks computer over my VM. Hopefully that was, in this good tutorial if you just need to reinstall Windows. Hopefully we're sticking with the theme of clear as mud. Again, questions, comments, you need help with the licensing, you need help with the ISOs, whatever, reach out to me. I think my email address is, or an email address to get to me is on my YouTube page. If not, it's just my first name at jenkinslocks.com. All one word. So reach out, let me know if you run into problems. Let me know. Comment. As people do reach out, if they do, hopefully they do. having issues, and we work through them. I'll put the, what the problem was and what the fix was in the comments. So again, I know this isn't locksmithing stuff, but it's technology. It's questions I've been asked. So to me, this is kind of the same realms of demoing a new programming tool, or some new other electronic device that it's in our day and age. Using technology is an absolute must. And if I can help out, let me know. But as always, guys, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you next time.